2023, Justin Bieber just sold his entire music catalog for $200 million. For most people, that sounds like a career victory, a payday that guarantees generational wealth. But what happened after the deal has left fans asking a completely different questions. Why does Justin look so drained, disconnected, and barely present in public appearances? He skipped major public events, delayed projects, and rarely releases new music. Media outlets have started speculating whether something darker is happening behind the scenes, while his wife Hailey often takes the spotlight alone. This isn't the first time Justin spiraled in public, but what makes this time different is that it's happening after he seemingly had everything: fame, money, marriage, and now a massive payout. But instead of stability, we're seeing the same patterns from his darkest years start to resurface. And to understand how we got here, we need to break down how one of the biggest pop stars on the planet may have unintentionally sold off not just his music, but his motivation to keep going. Justin's rise wasn't organic. He was manufactured into one of the most profitable pop stars of his generation. Scooter Braun discovered him on YouTube at the age of 13 and immediately pulled him into the machine. His early career was carefully controlled by powerful industry figures, from Braun to Usher to the major labels who saw dollar signs in a teenage heartthrob with viral potential. By 16, he was performing for the Obamas. By 18, he was worth tens of millions. But behind the scenes, Bieber's world was already unstable. Constant paparazzi harassment, non-stop touring, and zero real privacy all mixed together created enormous pressure. He started lashing out, getting into fights, legal troubles, and developing a reputation as a Hollywood's problem child. Between 2013 and 2015, the media obsession with his collapse was relentless. Drug use, DUIs, arrests. His downward spiral became entertainment for the world, and as much as his team tried to protect him, Bieber was already showing signs of burnout that would haunt him for the rest of his career. After years of headlines, Justin pulled back. He started treatment, publicly apologized, and tried to rebuild his image. What many fans don't realize is just how dangerous his lifestyle has become behind the scenes. In his own documentary, Justin revealed that his drug use was so extreme, his security team would regularly check his pulse at night to make sure he was still breathing. He admitted to being heavily addicted, using everything from lean to pills to harder substances. His manager, Scooter Braun, later confirmed that Bieber's team was worried every single day that he wouldn't survive. His 2015 album, Purpose, marked a temporary comeback, earning him crucial praise and commercial success. His marriage to Hailey Baldwin in 2018 was positioned as a part of his personal transformation, a way to stabilize his chaotic lifestyle. But even as his public image improved, cracks were still visible. In 2020, he revealed he'd been battling Lyme disease and severe anxiety. Interviews hinted at lingering trauma from his early fame, with Bieber openly admitting he struggled to find purpose beyond his career. What most fans didn't realize was that these weren't isolated incidents. They were warnings that the stability everyone assumed he'd found was far more fragile than it looked. And the fragility would come back into focus once money entered the picture in a way it never had before. In early 2023, Bieber sold his entire music catalog to Hypnosis Songs Capital for around $200 million. Every song he'd ever released prior to 2022 gone. The deal was framed as a savvy business move. Young artists cash out while their catalogs still hold massive value. But selling your life work at 28 is not a normal career move for a global superstar, especially not for someone who, at the time, was still considered an active artist. Industry insiders speculated that Bieber was motivated by health concerns, burnout, and a desire to step back from the industry entirely. Some pointed to tensions with Scooter Braun, who had already sold his company for $1.1 billion, suggesting Justin may have felt increasingly trapped inside the business system he no longer trusted. And while the payout guaranteed financial freedom, it may have also killed whatever creative drive he had left. Because when you sell off your entire legacy for a jump sum, what's left to motivate you to keep creating? Since the deal, Bieber's public appearances have grown increasingly concerning. Paparazzi footage shows him visibly uncomfortable, dazed and withdrawn. He skipped major industry events, where his peers continue to thrive. Even his audience at church services, once a regular refuge for him, has become sporadic. Rumors of drug use have resurfaced, fueled with his erratic body language and distant demeanor. While nothing has been confirmed, the internet has latched onto every clip, fueling a growing narrative that Justin is once again spiraling. His marriage has also faced scrutiny. Hailey has become the dominant public face of the relationship, driving her own brand deals and media appearances, while Justin often remains in the background. Media outlets speculate whether the dynamic reflects deeper issues behind closed doors, and through all of it, Bieber remains mostly silent. While fans focus on his behavior, the industry machinery behind Bieber's collapse often goes ignored. From the very start, Bieber was a product controlled by managers, labels, and investors who saw him as an asset, not a person. Every scandal became monetized, every comeback was engineered, and now even his breakdown is generating clicks. Headlines and speculations that keeps his name valuable. The $200 million catalog sale wasn't just a payday, it was a transfer of control. His legacy now belongs to investment firms who will continue to profit off his work, whether he ever creates again or not. In many ways, Bieber's situation is the inevitable outcome of being monetized since childhood. Justin Bieber didn't disappear, he crashed out, but instead of finding peace after the payout, his demons seemed to have resurfaced. Fame, money, and marriage were never enough to protect him from the same pressure that broke him before. And now, with his catalog sold, his public appearances driving, and the internet dissecting his every move, Justin Bieber may be living out one of the most uncomfortable truths of modern celebrity.